So few things I will be demonstrating today. So till now we have covered a general introduction to rapid prototyping technologies, their classification, their application areas, and a bit about few technologies like stereolithography and classification. Obviously, we have covered that liquid based, solid based, and powder based RP technologies. Okay. So nowadays, these RP group is known as additive manufacturing group or 3D printing group. Okay. Earlier, when these technologies were getting developed, the term which used to be for this technology was RP technology, but now we are using commonly 3D printing, or in more scientific manner, we are in scientific term which we are using is rapid prototyping technology. So today I will be covering about additive manufacturing process chain, which was known as earlier as RP process chain. So now this term is now additive manufacturing process chain. And in additive manufacturing, in this additive manufacturing process chain, there are 8 steps. Okay, so these steps, these 8 steps, in some books you will find that these are written as 7 steps. Somewhere it is as 8 steps. So I will demonstrate or I will be introducing these 8 steps to all of you in today's lecture. Okay. So the very first step in additive manufacturing process is conceptualization and modeling of your product. Okay. So once you develop concept about any product, like suppose let me switch on my camera so that I can show. I'm not sure whether you are able to see my camera as well, as because I'm using 2 devices. For audio, I'm using different device, and for video, I'm using a secondary device. Okay. So if you are able to see, I have in my hand one water bottle. Okay. So suppose you want to print this water bottle using your RP process or 3D printing process. So what you will do? Uh, you will first you will take the dimensions of this particular object or any object. Okay, and after that once you know the dimensions of this particular object, what is the width, what is the height, what is the length, what is the shape of or how much radius, what is the thickness, each and every parameter that, which is related to this water bottle, you will note down, and accordingly you will prepare a CAD model in any CAD modeling software like AutoCAD, Pro-E, CATIA, or SolidWorks, whatever CAD modeling software you are using. So the very first step is development of 3D CAD model in 3D modeling software based on the data available with you. Okay. Then in most of the software, I will be elaborating more about these 8 steps in your coming slide. So second step is conversion to STL. Your CAD file is converted into STL file. These we will be discussing in today's lecture. Then third step is transfer and manipulation of your STL file on additive manufacturing machine or RP machine. Fourth step is your machine related parameter. You set up your machine. What should be the your temperature and your bed height. There are many other parameters also related to your machine setup. Then we have fifth point, as soon as you have completed your machine setup, you will apply the command build or print, and your layer by layer deposition of material start, and your product is get printed or it's built. As soon as this build process is completed, you remove your part, and if the further cleaning is required, if support structure is there, the further cleaning would be required, and which is your sixth step. Then there may be further post processing requirement on the on your build product. So this is your seventh step. Then your eighth step is application. Okay, so these are the major 8 steps in the case of RP technology or additive manufacturing processes. Okay, so here in this flow diagram, you can understand these 8 steps. First, you will develop a CAD model. Then this CAD model is converted into STL file. STL file. Then this STL file is loaded into a RP machine or software of your RP machine or AM machine. Then we set up parameters, necessary parameters in your machine setting, and in continuation of this, we start your build process. Okay, so here you can see the product which is getting built. The sixth step is removal of your build component from your platform or built bed. Okay, so as soon as you remove your product, this is your completely printed you know product, which may require further post processing like removal of your support structure and any further machining if needed. Okay, and then eighth one is you are ready, your cup is ready that you can drink tea using this cup, or water or hot water, or whatever the application you want to use your final product. Okay, so so these in today's lecture now I will be discussing in detail about this process chain of RP technology or additive manufacturing process. Okay, so the very first step in the case of your additive manufacturing process, as I told, is the conceptualization, gather the information, necessary information, in order to draw your component into a CAD modeling software. Okay, 3D modeling software. So so for this you need necessary 3D CAD information, and there are many ways as how to 3D source data can be converted into your 3D CAD model. Okay, so most commonly we use computers, and using computers we are using, suppose we are using AutoCAD. Okay, so based on the model description, we create 3D model of a component which we desire to produce. Okay, so we create 3D CAD model of the of your object, and for this we are using solid modeling systems. Okay, so these commonly available solid modeling systems are AutoCAD, your ProE, your CATIA. Okay, so for example, I have taken one CAD model for convenience of all of you. Since I have shared my entire screen, so I hope you are able to see the drawing which is opened on my laptop screen. Okay, So this is a particular 3D model of your, my, actually when I was preparing for this lecture, I thought that I will prepare some drawing to demonstrate. Then the one idea came into my mind, why to create new drawing, since I have already have multiple drawings. So I tried to utilize this drawing which is already available with me, which I created during my PhD work as a part of my PhD. Okay, so this is a particular CNC machine in which there are some accessories has been added. Here you can see uh, one component. This is a some more parts are added on the platform of your CNC machine. Okay, so suppose I want to print some part of this machine, like this particular tool which I have selected. Just a second. Okay, this particular tool which I have selected. Suppose I want to 3D print this component using any RP technology or additive manufacturing process. Okay, so what I will do, what is the first step, that I need to create this model, this particular component into a CAD modeling software. So this first step is already completed. I have completed. I have created the 3D CAD model of this particular component into AutoCAD. Okay, so so what is the second step? Now, what will be required? Why this first step is completed, that using solid modeling software, I have created the 3D CAD model of this particular component. Okay, so then what is second step? In second step, what is required? Conversion to STL. Okay, so once you have created 3D CAD model of your component, what you will do? You will convert your 3D CAD model into STL file. Okay, so this what does it mean? STL. STL is the term which is used for stereolithography. Okay, so STL is the simplest. Few things which are important for all of you, I have kept as a bullet point in PPT, and few things I will be discussing and I will be demonstrating using this available software which I could download as a part of open source software. Okay, so I will be demonstrating a few of these stuffs, and few I may not be able to demonstrate because I'm not having actual 3D printer at my place where I am sitting. Okay, so STL is a simple way of describing CAD models. Since you all are from design, especially MTech students who are from design group, they might be knowing better than the student who are from production and other group, that how this conversion of CAD model takes place into any other format like DFX or STL or AFM, whatever the format we desire. Okay, so for additive manufacturing process, we particularly need that your CAD file should be your solid modeling component, which is developed into any modeling software. It has to be converted into stereolithography file or STL file. Okay, so in stereolithography, something is done by software automatically, and it works by removing any construction data, modeling history, etc. These all modeling history, etc. are removed. Even your construction data is removed when you are creating your STL file. Okay, and how this model is approximated. So this approximation takes place with in the form of surfaces of the model with a series of triangular facets. Okay, so this I will be demonstrating how how can we create STL file using your any CAD modeling software. Okay, so uh, further in STL, the minimum size of this triangle can be set within most CAD software, and the objective is to ensure the model created do not show any obvious triangle on the surfaces. Okay, then the process of converting to STL is automatic within most CAD software, which I told earlier. STL file repair is used when there are problems with the file generated by CAD system, and that may prevent the part from being printed correctly. Since your STL, STL is representation. It is represented by the surface is represented by uh, triangles of surfaces. Okay, so there may be some errors while creating. There might be some issues, while representing your CAD model through triangular surfaces. So in that case, we need STL file repair software for STL files. So this also I will be demonstrating that how we can repair your STL file. Okay, so just a second. Okay, so let us come here. I have a as I told that first let me remove the STL file which I have already created for. Okay. Okay. So okay. So this particular component, which is round in shape, cylindrical component, which is having tapered shape in the lower portion. Okay. So suppose I want to print this particular component. So what I will do, I will go to export. Here you can see export option. Export in which format, STL format. Here you can see there are number of formats. So I will select lithography, that is stereolithography. So say true. Cylindrical. Okay, then it is asking to select the part which I want to import as SCL. Okay, I have selected, and here you can see the cylindrical tool, the file with the name cylindrical tool has appeared in that particular folder. Okay, so this process is completed, that we have converted into STL file. Then, as I told that there may be issues, and you may not be able to print your STL file, or you need to carefully visualize your STL file before going into slicing, preparing the slice data. Okay, so for this, what we have to do, just a second, I have one open, you may find many open source software available. Most of the software which I am demonstrating, these are open source algorithms. You can download them. Even I too downloaded today itself from internet. Okay, so this is a one software which is called MATLAB. It is easily available. Okay, so open import mesh. Okay, so here you can see, just a second. हाँ सर, हाँ सर, क्लास ले रहा हूँ सर. हाँ हाँ, और मैं देख लिया हूँ, उसको रिप्लाई कर दिया हूँ सर मैं, है ना. वो मैं कर दूंगा अभी, मैं उसे फोन करता हूँ मैं क्लास के बाद, है ना. हाँ 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 सर. Okay, sorry. Yeah, there was a call. Okay, so as soon as we open this MATLAB application, this is the algorithm especially for repairing your STL file if your file is having any issue while uh, if this file is having any issue. Okay, so any repair is needed. So select import mesh, and you can see there are a lot of supported files. You will select STL file, and you go to your parent directory where you have saved your CAD model. Okay, so this was the file which we imported with the name cylindrical tool. Okay, so here you can see this file has been imported into your modeling software. So let me convert its view. Okay. Okay. So here you can see this file. Let me make it more large. Okay. So here you can see this file is where this STL file I have opened in your CAD modeling software. Okay. So just a second. Okay, now what is required? We because there is possibility that there may be some issues. This because this particular this file has been created very accurately, so you are not able to visualize any error or obstacle which will not be printed during your CAD modeling software. Okay, but in actual situation when you are dealing with complex object, you may find that some triangular coming out at the surface at some portion. Okay, at corner you will find you will face such difficulty that which I have not faced during the conversion of this STL. So you may find some triangular portion coming out of this surface. Okay, a small triangular section, and if this strong this small triangular cross section which has come out as a in your STL file, this will also be printed during if you create the slice based on that particular slice that particular STL file. Okay, so let us see what are the available options in repairing these STL file. Okay, so I will expect you that you read more about structure of STL file. What are the possible errors in creating while creating the STL file? Okay, so let me show you something. Okay, so here you can see there is a option which is called as filter, and under filter there is a option cleaning and repairing. Okay, so here there are a lot of option compact faces under cleaning and repairing. Uh, uh, compact vertices, merge vertices, merge bridge texture, remove duplicate, remove isolated folded face by a clip, remove isolated piece, remove isolated pieces with respect to diameter and with respect to face number. So these are a lot of options for cleaning and repairing your STL file. Suppose I click on remove duplicate faces. Okay, so now you can see your STL file is looking more smooth. Okay, let me undo it. Yes. Okay, there is no undo option. Let me close it. Okay. So this was our particular STL file, original STL file. Okay, so there are under filter, there are a lot of options. You can play with these options, and accordingly, as soon as you apply that particular tool, your STL file is modified. Okay, so here you can see as soon as I clicked on filter, remove duplicate vertices, remove duplicate faces, remove isolated facets. So you can see your modified STL file. Okay, so reload. Okay, suppose I click on a filter which is compact faces, no changes. Then merge close vertices. Okay, so here you can see. Suppose I have applied any one filter. So let me save this file with another name. File export mesh as modified. Okay, so I have saved as modified STL file. Okay, so here you can see this modified STL file has appeared in this folder, and now I will go to the next step. As soon as you have repaired your STL file, you will move to the next step. Okay, so as I told, there may be errors in the case of uh, STL file if you are creating STL file from your CAD modeling software. So further, for further repairing of STL file, you need to use your any file repairing software, STL file repairing software. So I have demonstrated that there are a lot of options available in your software, that is open source software, which is called as MeshLab. Okay, then these okay this. So for these error, as I told, can sometime these may be detected, and sometime if if you zoom it, then you are able to detect. Otherwise, in CAD modeling software, if your product is very large, you may not be able to detect manually. So this repairing software rectifies these errors automatically as soon as you apply the particular filter. Okay, so then the next step is you save this. I have saved with the modified cylinder with the name modified. Okay, so let me close this particular application now. So now we can move to the next file, next step, that is the transfer to AM machine. Okay, so in this step, what we are doing, uh, uh, we are transferring our STL file into your RP machine or additive manufacturing machine for further steps needed at your AM machine or RP machine. So once this STL file is created, this repaired STL file is created, it can be sent directly to the target AM machine or RP machine. In ideally, in all machines, there is a option, there is a button which is called as print button, and you click on this print button. This printing of your build part starts automatically. Okay, so as in your on your AM machine, the first task would be to verify the part is printed correctly. The AM software normally has a visualization tool and allow user to view the menu and manipulate the part. User may wish to reposition the part or even I will first read out these points and then I will demonstrate these points in using a printing software. Okay, so the user may wish to reposition the part and even change the orientation to allow it to build a specific location within the machine. It is quite common to build more than one part in a machine at the same time. This may be multiples of same part, thus requiring a copy of function or completely different STL file. Okay, so let me demonstrate the step number 3 using the available resources with me. Okay, so we have created STL file. So after creation of STL file, what we are supposed to do? We are supposed to slice our STL file. Okay, so we need to create layers of your input data, which will be used in for printing or creating this object layer by layer. Okay, so for demonstration of this, I have a one component. One open source software which is called as Slicer. Okay, Slice 3R. Okay, so here what I will do, I will open my particular file which I want to slice. Okay, so this this is our modified cylindrical tool which I am opening. Okay, so here you can see uh, your tool has been imported in your slicing software, and here you can see in what orientation you want to print your object. You may reorient accordingly. Okay, so suppose I want to rotate 45 clockwise. Okay. Scale to size. Just import. Okay, this particular file I have, and now what I am supposed to do? I have to first let me uh, you know let me try with the existing orientation of your CAD model, and your STL file has been imported exactly in the same configuration or same orientation which it was created originally in your CAD modeling software. So here you can see there are few options: print setting, filament, printer. Okay, so under print setting, you can see there are options: layer height, first layer height. So use adaptive slicing, or so this I will be demonstrating what is adaptive slicing. I will demonstrate it later. For now, forget about it. So suppose this is your layer height, this is your first layer height, and then a vertical perimeter of your vertical cell, solid layers, horizontal cell. Okay, there are few options. Okay, so this is related to your sorry, it got okay, it get closed. Just a second, let me open it again. File, open, modified cylinder. Okay, so there are a lot of options like print setting, then filament setting. So under filament setting, your what is the diameter of your extrusion filament, then extruder, some some temperature related parameter, then density you may also give. Okay, and you may also, if you put the cost also in money per kg, then you will also get the cost of your component. Okay, so let me close this filament. Then we have printer setting. So under print setting, there are few options. You may play with these options when you are having actual printer in front of you. But I'm just telling you that so that you are aware what are the options available in any slicing software. Okay, so then there is a option generate support material. Okay, so there is a option generate support material. So if you click on this, then this slice data will be generated considering your support material. If you do not click on this, generate support material data, then this your slice data will be created without any support material. Okay, so this you may click. For convenience of for demonstration, I am clicking. I will use both options: generate support material and without support material. Okay, so this is without support material. Let me export the G code. So this G code is your slice data based on your print setting, filament setting, and your printer setting. Okay, so suppose I will since this is without support, so I will write modif without support, without support structure. Okay, then here you could see some progress bar came, and your code has been saved with the name where it got saved. Okay, so this code has been saved here in this particular folder with the name. Just me make it large icon. So this particular file has come with the name without support structure modified cylinder 2. So let me open this file. How this file looks like, you can see. Those who have worked on any CNC machine, they will be able to recall that the code which is appearing as text, it is coming the G1, G92, some G code and M code are coming in this file. Okay, so in slice data also, this is 3D representation of the data in the form of G code, G code, M code, X, Y. There are X, Y coordinates. Okay, so this is E2, E3, E4. So this is representing your some data corresponding to your each layer. And you see after certain interval, this data is getting repeated. So it is representing that this might be your first layer, then this might be your second layer. After that, this might be your next layer, then this might be your another next layer. Okay, so these are the code corresponding to your tool movement which is needed on your each layer. Okay, so I have closed it. I have created without support. Then let me create also with support also. Okay, yes. So I have clicked on generate support material, and as soon as I have clicked on generate support material, you click on export G code. So this is with support. Okay, so yes. Okay, Let me check one issue first before moving ahead. Okay, so no issue. I will see it whether that issue remains. Then I will take another example. Okay, so here you can see we have created the data with support and without support. Both data we have created. Now let us move to the next step. No, before moving to the next step, let me open any, there is a software available with me which is called Ultimaker. So I have two files now. One is for with support structure, and second one is without support structure. Okay. So even in the data which is available with support structure, now support will be will come into picture only if it is required. Okay. If it is not required, then even if you have clicked on with support, there will be no support if it is actually not needed. Okay. So let this file open. Ultimaker, it is getting open. Okay, so this is a open source software available on internet. You can find this Ultimaker, Cura Ultimaker. Okay, so this is commonly known as Cura also. Okay, so I have two files. I have two options. In Ultimaker is the interface which you are seeing now. This same interface is visible on your visualization software of your Ultimaker printing machines. You will see their visualization software similar to this screen which you are seeing on my laptop screen. Okay.
हेलो सर
Yes.
सर स्क्रीन आपकी विजिबल नहीं है अभी मुझे.
Any other student who is not able to see screen?
Sir, no sir, not visible.
No, sir, it's visible, sir.
It is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, how
Yes,
many
sir, it
students
is
are
visible.
able? Okay, so those who are not able to see screen, they may reconnect, disconnect, and reconnect again. Okay, so there might be a network error at their end. Okay, so once you are if you are seeing this screen, you can see till now we have two files. We have STL files and we have G code files. And in in this Cura software, you may use these two files, any of these two files. If you directly use your STL file, then your slicing will be done inside this particular software which is called Ultimaker. But in that case, you may find yes, there is no problem even using directly STL files in Ultimaker. Okay, so let me open this file. Suppose modified cylindrical tool. This I am opening this particular STL file, and as soon as you have opened your STL file, you have one option that is called slice. Okay, so here also slicing is taking place, and slicing is done in your Ultimaker software. Okay, you can also save this Ultimaker's code also in the form of .3mf, .g code. There are a lot of options. .stl, .stl binary, and .ump Ultimaker file format package, and wavefront. There are a lot of options. Okay, so let us again save this with the name G code. Okay, so these two files which we created in your previous software, that was Slicer, and now we are using this software, this Ultimaker software for doing the same process. Okay, now click on preview. Okay, so So here you can see how many layers are there. You can see, if you are able to see at my cursor, it is showing 825. Since you are having, you are using your mobile phone, so you might not be able to visualize this data. It is written at as 825. So there are, you can say, 825 layers in this particular CAD model. Okay, so let me show how your each layer is looking. Okay, so suppose I click at some height. Okay, so here you can see how your particular layer will look like. So layer number 825, then layer number 3, say 482, you may find it increasing. Okay, so let me show it. Okay, so just a second, I want to show something to all of you. Okay, suppose I'm showing layer number 1. Okay, so this is your initial, how this your initial setup will look like. And if you want to see the how actual 3D printing will take place, let me show it quickly, because we have only 5 minutes. So here you can see the, okay, let me make it more larger. I hope I have zoomed enough so that you are able to see. So how, see, you can see how this creation of first layer is taking place. This will in yellow color, this knob is coming. You can see some yellow color is getting printed. So this yellow is your printed material which is being printed. Okay, so as soon as your printing of your first layer will be completed, in the your my right hand side there is layer option. So this layer option will be automatically increased from 1 to 2. Our first layer is getting printed, so it is showing layer number 1 only. So, and this cursor is moving ahead, so you can see how this layer is, uh, how much complete layer has been printed completely. Okay, so you saw as soon as your first layer got printed, this tool shifted to second layer, and the solidified portion has been shown with your black color. Okay, so the black color which is showing, it is showing your solidified layer. Okay, so here you can see, because your initial shape is some tapered, so only this portion is getting printed. Okay, so this currently layer number 3 is getting printed. So now layer number 4, let me move it a bit up, say layer number 15. I have moved it a bit up. So you can see now this tapered portion has come a little bit, it has started appearing. Okay. For the convenience of time, let me increase your layer height. So now you can see how these layer will be created. These will appear exactly like this. Students, just confirm whether you are able to see the screen which is getting printed.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this way we can print our CAD model, and this layer by layer printing takes place. When you are printing, when you are using any RP machine, your the product which you are visualizing on my screen now, that will exactly appear in your computer as well as simultaneously in physical world. Okay, the printer will be printing the same component with your Ultimaker software. Okay, so in this particular, let me stop this. Okay, so this way your as soon as I will increase layer height, you can see your layer wise data. Okay, so this particular component was quite simple, and that's why you could see the uniform cross section throughout your height. But in complex shapes, you will not you will find that the layer wide layer data is quite different from one layer to second layer, or from one layer to next layer. Okay, so let me stop this. Okay, new project. Yes. Okay. So as I told that in this first example, I automatically I have taken data from STL file, and I have also one more option, that instead of taking data, if I have created G code any slice on any slicer software, or I have slicing data, that in that case also I can use that particular slice data directly into your Ultimaker or additive manufacturing printer. Okay, so I have imported this data. Okay, so this data is corresponding to the layers, layer by layer data, or the G code data which was available, which I saved in your previously created file using your slicer. Okay, so just for for and just I want to know, any student who is having the next class at 2:30 in any course?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so those who are please wait for 2-3 minutes so that I can demonstrate completely the remaining portion. Okay, so here
Okay.
also you can see by using your slice data, by using your G code which we created in our previous software, that is Slicer, you are able to print your product using your Ultimaker or any printer which is available with you. Okay, so this way you can print your sliced data using your RP machine or additive manufacturing machine. Okay, let me close it and let me move in a fast forward mode. Okay, so that I can explain the remaining steps, which I will not be demonstrating much. I will be just reading out and telling about a few things. Okay, then your fourth step is machine setup. That is, there are some initial parameter is machine specific parameters that you need to set. So these will depend on the what kind of machine you are having with you. Then I will expect that you read all these points, bullet point, which I have kept in my PPT for clarity. Then there is build setup. There are some requirement depending upon your part being manufactured, or your machine available with you. Okay, so some interaction might be required, that depends on the decision of your worker or the technician which is printing your product. Okay, so these bullet points you read in your from the PPT which I will be uploading. Then as soon as your printing is completed, obviously you need to remove your product from the platform. In some cases, post processing may be required, and this post processing may be in the form of removal of your support structure, or some further finishing may be needed in order to provide required accuracy, surface accuracy. Okay, then last step is your application. Okay, so as soon as the processing is completed, your product is ready for use, and you can use it wherever you want to use it. Okay, that's all from my side. I will be uploading this PPT also in on the web, which I have posted. The link I have posted in the your team. Okay, so for today I will stop here.